Hey Dale, thanks for joining me. Tell us a little bit about that 1988 season, The Sound of Music.
So in 1988, we came out after just two very successful shows. We had, Wizard of Oz, and then we went into uh, uh, West Side Story, both pretty much produced by Tommy Kingdom and his crew. And we had a parting of the ways after the 87 season with a lot of that staff. Not all of it, but a large majority of it. And so uh, we were trying to figure out what to do. So we said we ended up with doing The Sound of Music, and I was looking for a new drill writer. And so I called Michael Cesario in the off season. I said, "Hey, Michael, I want somebody that is unknown, that's looking to make a name for himself, and that you think could do this." Um, so he gave me the name of the person, and we won't get into who it was. And they started working, came to staff meetings, and then in April we had our camp, and for Kansas we actually had a good weekend, and he had some charts with him. So we put some charts on the field, and it looked okay. This looks pretty good. We'll come back in into May when we really get in swing and get this done. And unfortunately, when we all came back, he still had the same original whatever number we had done. He had not written anything else. He just
Oh
had,
man.
he just had writer's block, I guess you'd call it. So he was under extreme stress, as was everybody else. And so he was trying to write at night, and while we're trying to do other things during the day to get some more charts. And it finally got to the point. It was probably June, I don't know, 5th or 6th,
Wow.
and myself and I think Mark Wessels and maybe a couple of the guys went down, and he was at Sambo's, which is fast food restaurants. There were some of
I
those,
remember.
and he's sitting there at a table, and we finally said, "This isn't going to work. I think we're going to part ways." So we did, and so of course we had a staff meeting right away. So what are we going to do? So we're all brainstorming on who knows who. So Wanda Conway, who was the guard person, or one of the guard people, she was the head guard person that year, said, "I got a guy named Dale Powers who's sitting out in Boston, who was huge into Winter Guard, WGI, and done a bunch of other stuff." And so she called him and said, "Hey, can you come out here and help us?" And he said, "Sure." So he gets on a plane, comes out. He's there within a day or two. I mean, real quick. And it's already probably June 8th, 9th, or 10th. So we got a show in what, probably less than 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Jeez.
Back then, the show started in the Midwest earlier. And he basically wrote the drill on the fly. It would basically tell the kids where to go, what the form was to look like. And then at night, Frank Troika would chart it. And it's like,
Oh
okay,
man.
this is not the way you're supposed to do it, but it's the way it worked. So the problem with that whole season was that we were behind the whole season. We're playing catch up, and going into late in the season, we were catching up, but we were still behind Crossman and Dutch Boy, who were both very good that year. And Dutch Boy had never made finals, and Crossman, of course, had several times. And we get to Kansas City. Thank God championships were in Kansas City, because it was a hometown for us. And the crowd was very supportive, and we just clicked. It just happened, and we made finals. And there's a video, and I
Well,
gotta find it. I still haven't been able to find it. It's not on YouTube. I found out. I did some searching. It's supposedly on our Facebook deal, but I haven't been able to find it yet. And we'll try to get that to add to this. Is that me? So that particular year, they took all the directors and the guard captain and the drum major, and put them across the front sidelines and did the scores. Starting in whatever it was, 25th or whatever that night was. I don't remember exactly. And we get to 14th, and I think 14th was Crossman, 13th was Dutch Boy. Well, as soon as they said Dutch Boy in 13, I went berserk, and I'm jumping up and down. I'm 5 or 6 yards behind Amy and Brady, jumping up and down there, turn around, look at me like, "You're nuts." And but it was such a release of frustration for the whole summer. Not only you have the problem, you're behind, you've got issues with buses, and you got issues with trucks, and just the whole summer. And it was just a complete release of energy that It wasn't probably I'm sure there was a lot of people in the stands thinking, what's this idiot doing? But man, it was, for me, it was pure joy that the kids had worked that hard and we finally had overcome all the obstacles to make finals.
Wow, that's incredible. Truly the story behind the story. I didn't know
Yeah,
any
it
of
was,
this.
it was. Yeah.
Wow, incredible. The top 12 appearance that almost wasn't.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks
Yep.
again, Dale.
Yep. No problem.